After shopping Temu, y'all, I think we have a new obsession. We are going to show you all everything we ordered from Temu, and we're going to test some of these out today to see if they are really, really worth the hype. Everything we've got is super, super cheap, and honestly, they're kind of like dupes of things that we use every day anyways. So we're going to try these things out with you all today in real time. We cannot wait to jump into it. So some of these products we have already been utilizing. Some of them we haven't even opened yet. So I'm going to be using them as much as we can in today's video. That way you all can kind of get an idea before you go and shop for yourself on Temu as to what you would like to purchase for yourself. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, this is something, when I saw it, this was like something I had to get immediately. Now, this is a dupe version, or like a knockoff version, if you will, of the Cricut Mini Easy Press. We love our Cricut Mini Easy Press, y'all. We use it constantly in the studio. And so I thought I have to snag this. It's only $26. Now, I will say that lots of the Temu stuff, prices fluctuate. They'll go up, they'll go down. So it may not be $26 exactly right now, but it's gonna give you kind of an idea of how much these items are going to cost. So we went ahead and took this out of the box. It comes in this little box right here, and it comes with a cute little carrying satchel. I'm gonna show you guys just because it's so cute. So when you open it up, it's packaged really nicely, like anything you would order off of Amazon. And a lot of this stuff that we did order is packaged just exactly the same as it would be if we purchased it off of Amazon or other big box stores. So one thing that I love about this one is that once you turn it on, you're going to be able to manually adjust the temperatures on here. So this is a little bit different from the traditional Cricut Mini Easy Press. You're gonna actually be able to adjust this in small increments all the way up to 400. So that's pretty nice. And they do have a different selection of colors. Honestly, this heat plate looks a little bit bigger than the Mini Easy Press, but it's still small enough so you're going to be able to get into the small corners and crevices of anything that you're working on. So whenever you hit this temperature gauge, it's going to go 210, 255, 270, 280, 290, 305. So it should be going up in increments of 10, but then you can see it skips from 315 to 330, and then 340 to 365, and then 400. So you're not able to really manually change it to the specific temperature you want, but you can kind of do it. So we really can't expect a whole lot in that aspect, but just so you guys know what to expect whenever you receive this, if you do decide to order it. It also does come with this little plate protector so you can sit it down while you're crafting, which is super nice for us. It does not come with like a heat mat or anything like that, but still for 26 bucks, you honestly can't beat it. So with the Cricut Mini Easy Press, there is a low, medium, and high setting rather than the manual number setting like on this one. I kind of like with the Mini Easy Press that I can just put it on medium whenever I'm working with HTV, or bump it up a little bit higher when I'm working with other materials. So that's just gonna be something that you can decide on your own if that's what you prefer. Another thing that happened with this one, we just left it plugged in. It was off, but it was plugged in. So we came in one morning and it had been plugged in, but it was off. And the top of the press was warm. So not a good sign. Obviously, you should not leave your products plugged in overnight, but we all know it happens, and it was a little warm on top, so that kind of worried me a little bit. We've got to think when you're paying for a lower quality item, it's not going to function as well as something that you're going to pay a little bit more for, like a Mini Easy Press. They would never do that. So this one got a little bit toasty on top, so make sure if you do purchase something like this that you are unplugging it after you're using it. Okay, the next crafty item that we purchased is a paper trimmer. Now, I have not opened this yet, but this is a mini paper cutter. I did not read the description, so I didn't realize it was miniature, but if you were a card maker, this is something that you could really, really use a lot. Now, I don't know how well it works, but we are going to test it out with some cardstock, and I believe you can just pull this out right here, and then it pops into place. So lots of different colors, and we only paid $4.18 for this. So very, very cheap. Now, I don't really recommend you all using cheap paper cutters, especially if you are an avid paper crafter. You're gonna wanna invest in something really nice. But if you don't do a ton of paper crafts, but you like to have something on hand, this is really gonna be a good bang for your buck. The next item that I snatched up so fast are these t-shirt guides. Now we have these all over the studio, and typically they look like this. So they are bigger, they're made for adults, but this is the type of t-shirt guide. You just line it up to the collar and it's gonna give you the correct distance for where you need to place your designs and things like that. But on the TEMU website, they had a selection of 4, and it was really cool because they have a youth option, a toddler option, and then an infant option. And so you can see, like, even on this infant option, the neck is gonna be a little bit smaller. The distance from the collar to the bottom is gonna be a little bit shorter. And so this is really nice if you're really into making t-shirts, because you're gonna be making them for all different age groups, and you're gonna have all these different size options. And this came in a pack of 4, and it was only $3.78. So something we came across while we were shopping TEMU is this little toolkit. So this is a basic toolkit for your Cricut, and y'all, I am obsessed with this, mainly because it has every single tool that you could possibly need in here. Also, the colors are really cute. I love pastels personally, but it comes with a little pair of tiny scissors. These little mini scissors are great for crafting. It's got an X-Acto knife in here. This is super nice, and I love that it's got a lid. It has a burnishing tool, spatula. There's a weeding tool in here. Now, I don't know if this would compare to the Maker's Gonna Learn weeding tool, but it looks pretty decent. Now, I can already see that the tip is a little bit curved, and that's gonna be a hard no for me. But honestly, y'all, these tools were so cheap. I cannot expect a ton from them. And here are some little tweezers. Y'all, these are so good. You really just cannot go wrong with a set of tweezers for crafting. So some of these are hits, some of these are misses, but overall, I like them pretty good. And we only paid $8.48 for this entire set. So these are really good to have on hand. Obviously, you're gonna have your favorite tool set sitting around, and you're gonna gravitate to those more. But if you wanna have like a set of backup tools, these are gonna be very handy to have on hand. Okay, I just want you all to zone back in if you zoned out, because we need to talk about these mats. These are Cricut mat dupes. And y'all know we love a Cricut mat dupe. We use Nikapa mats around here all the time, as well as a couple other brands that we purchased off Amazon. And when I saw these, I was like, we're getting one. And every grip, the strong grip, the standard grip, and the light grip. And we're gonna be testing these out for you all today because they look and feel exactly the same as like our standard mats that we use every single day. Now, the standard grip mat, the green is a little bit different. Obviously, the light grip mat is like a beautiful teal color. I love this blue. Normally, they're like a baby blue. But I think they're gonna work pretty good. Let's take off the covers and see how they feel. Now, we've gotten some strong grip mats around here that are like insane. This one feels pretty sticky. It's gonna be hard for us to truly tell how well they work until we actually put them to use. So we're gonna cut some HTV with y'all. That way you can actually see how well these work. So there are lots of little things that whenever you're using the app, they're gonna try to get you to buy. So like sublimation magnets, there was these little tools on there. I wanna show you all what we picked up. It's kind of like the aisle that you walk through before you check out at the store. They kind of get you, you know, with those little things. So these are the little things that we picked up, and I'm gonna show you guys what we got. The first thing that we grabbed were these blades. So these are Cricut replacement blades. Now, y'all know that we use the Amazon Cricut replacement blades on the regular. So I thought we have got to try these. These are just your standard fine point blade replacements for your regular housing. And it came in a pack of 5. I believe that we only paid $4.28 for these, so not bad. So these came in a pack of 10. So there's 5 up here, and then if you pull this foam out, there's more underneath here. So I really like that it comes in this nice little storage container. And you're gonna get 10 of these blades for $4.28. That's how much we paid for them. Obviously prices may fluctuate a little bit, but really not a bad price for 10 replacement blades. For 10 replacement blades, you really cannot beat it. The next thing that we picked up are the sublimation magnets. And y'all, I already experimented with these. This is one of the MGL files. I love this Yeehaw file. You know that we love our Western stuff. And so I thought that these were not going to work. Honestly, they feel like they have a film over them. And I picked at these magnets trying to get the film off of them. They don't have a film on them. You can sublimate directly on them, and they worked perfectly fine. I really love how these turn out. And the magnets are actually pretty strong. So 10 out of 10, recommend these. You can use all of the MGL files to create whatever magnets you want. I even did some with pictures of my baby on them, and they were so, so cute. So lots of different options there. Another thing that we like to use around here a lot are these gold flakes. So these are great for paper crafting. They're great for tumblers, lots of different things. I even think they started selling these at the Dollar Tree. But on TEMU, you can get this amount of gold flakes for $2.38, which I don't feel like is a bad deal at all. If you went and got these at Hobby Lobby, they're gonna be like way more expensive. And not only that, but they had lots of color options on the TEMU website. So I really, really love these. Great for all sorts of crafting. And then last but not least, we have these super adorable little pins. Now, they may look like pins, and if you've been around MGL for any amount of time, you know we use something called a pen tool. I thought that's what I was purchasing. Turns out this is a little bit different than those, but they are actually little tiny blades. So there is like an itty bitty blade in there. Honestly, it's exactly like a fine point Cricut blade. So this is going to be really good if you are needing to cut very small edges, like if your HTV didn't cut all the way through, you're going to be able to get in there very, very meticulously and cut anything that did not cut all the way through. They have lots of different colors, and these are just really good to have on hand. Honestly, you could probably weed with them a little bit. I catch myself weeding with a True Control knife every once in a while, but these are so dainty that they would easily weed your projects for you. So we're gonna test these mats out. I'm gonna cut some HTV. We're gonna heat up this mini Easy Press dupe, and let's see if these TEMU products are really gonna be worth it for us to repurchase in the future. Okay, so I've just pulled in a standard Maker's Gonna Learn logo. I'm gonna go ahead, make sure your sizing is correct, obviously. Go ahead and make it, and then we are going to mirror our image, because I'm gonna be cutting this out of HTV on one of the TEMU mats. Just the standard grip TEMU mat will work just fine. Go ahead and continue, and we're gonna cut this on everyday iron-on, just the usual cut settings. I'm gonna cut it just as I normally would if I was using my Cricut. So make sure you're removing your cover sheet, and then I'm just gonna take some of this hot pink HTV. We're gonna line it up to the top left. And then this is pretty sticky. This is new, which you know if you get a brand new standard grip mat, it's very sticky. It's gonna do its job. So while that is cutting out, I'm gonna take our little mini Easy Press dupe, and I'm just gonna iron our shirt out. This is gonna help with the adhesive, obviously, but I wanna make sure I've got a smooth surface so we can really make sure that this HTV is going to go on properly. We just wanna give all of the tools we're using a fair chance. So our design has been completed. I'm gonna take our X-Acto knife that came in our toolkit, and I'm just gonna cut this out. This knife is so sharp, you guys, so just be very careful. Let's see if it cut. I barely applied any pressure here, y'all. Wow, that was like butter. So be very, very careful with this. Super sharp, but we know that it works. I love a fresh True Control knife or X-Acto knife, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm going to use the weeding tool that came with the kit. Now, I do not trust that this weeding tool is going to work great, but we are going to give it the old college try. And I'm just going to grab that edge and start weeding. Now it will grab it, but it's kind of awkward because the tip of it is so bent up. Okay, so initially I was trying to cut this vinyl on with a different color and it wouldn't cut through, and then I switched colors and it's still not cutting through. So I'm gonna use one of those replacement blades that we got from TEMU and see if the blades can actually work too. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm just gonna pull out my unit and I'm just gonna pull this out and then pull the blade out. And then these are our TEMU blades. Come in this cute little package. And we just need to remove that rubber stopper and be very careful because these are sharp. I'm gonna tuck it back in there and then reload my blade. And we're gonna recut that design and see if it weeds a little bit easier. I'm thinking the blade was just dull because I've used 2 different vinyls and it's still not cutting all the way through. So this will be a really good time for us to test out these TEMU blades. So we have used the Amazon Cricut blade replacements plenty of times. We use them constantly. They're just a little bit more cost efficient and we go through blades like crazy. So finding these TEMU blades was very helpful. I have seen some people say that it like voids your warranty on your Cricut. I don't know how true that is, but the blades work really well for us. We haven't had any issues with that type of thing. So let me know what your favorite Cricut blade replacements are down below in the comments. I give up. So it looks as if we did just need to replace our blade, and that TEMU blade worked really good. You can see this is weeding a lot easier than it was before. So that's good to know. Now I'm just going to weed off all this excess, and then I've got my mini press preheated already, so we can go ahead and apply this to our t-shirt. So I'm actually gonna be applying this as a pocket design. So I'm just lining this up with the center of my shirt. Now, when I do pocket designs, I kind of nestle them over here in one of the corners. So like if I wanted it on this side, I would do it there. And then for this side, I'm gonna kind of put it there. So you can stick down the bottom and then just remove your t-shirt guide. So those t-shirt guides are super handy. And then I have my mini press preheated, and we're just going to press this on. Okay, and then we're gonna peel it off. And it did great. 10 out of 10. So as far as the replacement blades, the easy press, the mats, those all worked really well. I'm gonna say definitely recommend to get some of those whenever you get on the TEMU website. The tools, some of them were working great, some of them not so much. The weeding tool I really probably will never use again. It's just not for me, but I do really love the True Control knife that they have in that little set. So some of it's gonna work and some of it's not. So I've already tested out these sublimation magnets, but now I'm just gonna be testing out this little mini paper trimmer that we got. It's really not meant for 12 by 12 sheets of paper. Obviously you can see it's not gonna fit here, but we can cut off a small piece. So I'm just gonna use the scissors that they gave us in this little kit, and we will see how well all of this works. The scissors work good. That's good to know. You can never go wrong with having a small pair of scissors just laying around. I always am looking for scissors. So just like earlier, we're just gonna pop that out, and you can see, you just pop this open. I'm gonna put our smooth edge up here. We're just gonna cut off a little piece here. And I mean, it cuts pretty good. It's probably not like my first go-to little paper trimmer, but it's gonna be nice just to have this on hand, especially if you don't do a ton of paper projects. It's always good to have little tools like this in your back pocket just in case you need them. When we first heard about TEMU, we were very skeptical, we were very unsure. It seems like one of those highly produced product companies that sells everything for dirt cheap and like the quality's not great. And you can see here, some of the items that we use really were not the best quality, but some of them worked just fine. So this is just a good way for you all to see what works for us and what didn't. We probably will be repurchasing from TEMU in the future just to test out different craft products. We love trying new things around here. If you love watching videos like this, make sure to subscribe and hit the little bell so you're notified every time that we post a new video. And until then, we will see you guys in the next video. Bye.